So we're going to do something a little fun today. I am going to read off some statements. You're going to want to clear your laps. And if this makes you feel good, I want you to stand up. Give me a big thumbs up so I can see you. And if it makes you feel bad, sit down either on the ground or in your chair and give me a thumbs down so I can see you, all right? Here we go. You're so funny. You guys like being funny, all right. I took these from the curriculum, so I like this one. You look like an 8-year-old. I thought that one could go either way. You can sing so beautifully. You have a kind heart. Your ears are so big. All right. You know, I am so glad that you're here today. Talking to you guys out there. You know, God has a cool purpose for you. Your feet are so smelly. You make our church even better. I like that we are both part of God's family. All right, you guys can sit down. All right, so we had some feelings about words, right? But what about the phrase, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words can never hurt me? Words hurt. I've had some things in my life that have hurt me, and it might be words from others, but more often than not, it's words from myself. It's words from myself. Now, today's big idea, Bridget, bring it on up. Today's big idea, when we live for Jesus, what we say matters. Our words have power. And guess what? God gave us this amazing thing called free choice. We get to choose whatever we want to do in life and whatever we want to say. And it's all held in this little bitty tongue down there, right? So he gave us this gift, right? Well, when we use our words, we're giving gifts to others. Whoever hears our gifts, including us, gets this gift, right? Now, I have 2 gifts here because generally, you know, it's a range, but it ends on either end. Something positive and life-giving, or something negative and full of death, right? So I've got 2 gifts here, and we kind of talked about statements that we've made. And we're going to take a peek in these, right? Now, I've got some statements I'm going to say. When I say something like, you look funny, you smell funny, you are a bad person, I don't like you, and probably no one else does either. You are worthless. What we're spreading is garbage. And it gives a gift like this. An empty banana peel. And worse yet, poop. It's disgusting. It smells. It's horrible. It's death, right? I'll put that back for later. Now, when we say things like, God chose you, you are holy and dearly loved. You are full of mercy and kindness. You're gentle and you are patient. Now that says something completely different. It's the same tongue. I said all these using the same tongue and the same brain, but completely different ends of the spectrum, right? And when I say that, this is a gift for me because these are some of my favorite things. Got a pink lady apple here. And my favorite treat, sweet tarts. Yeah, these are my favorite. So what you give to people, it can speak to them, right? So it can be on a spectrum too. So we talked about you look like an 8-year-old. Now, if you are 30 and they're commenting on what you're wearing and they're like, you're dressed like an 8-year-old, that can be an insult, right? But if you're talking to like a 7-year-old, you look so grown up. You look like you're 8 already. It's beautiful, right? Now let's look at what Jesus has to say. Oh, you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. You know those words that I was speaking about the good present here? That sounds kind of familiar to me because I took it from scripture that we learned about last week. Bridget, here's our memory verse from last week. You are God's chosen people. You are holy and dearly loved. So put on tender mercy and kindness as if they were your clothes. Don't be proud, be gentle, and be patient. We need to remember who God says we are. And those are the words that we need to speak out of our mouth. Now, God says in James, I'm reading out of James 3 today, okay? That I love that James starts here. James starts here. Indeed, we all make mistakes. We aren't perfect. For if we can control our tongues, we would be perfect and could also control ourselves in every other way. So we have a lot of power right here. And you know what's really good about being able to make mistakes? We can correct them. You know, I might say something accidentally like, "Whoo, you smell," or I don't even know, something just rude. But you know what? A lot of times God will show me that I've said something that is out of line. And he is so amazing. He gives us the power to say, I'm sorry, that was not okay. And we can always say these powerful words that we're sorry and ask for forgiveness. Isn't that amazing? Now, James goes on to talk about how just like a little bit in a horse's mouth can control this giant animal. How a little bitty rudder on the back of a ship can control this gigantic ship. And that's what our tongues are. Our tongues control this whole body, right? Now, I try to do good about talking to other people, but a lot of times when I miss it, it's when I'm talking to myself. And it tells us that if we control our tongues, we could do anything. And when Stephen was praying, he said, let's speak life. Let's speak life over ourselves. So how do you do that? Anyone? Anyone? How do you speak life to yourself? Crickets. Pray in tongues. It's great. Scripture. We want to stop thinking about what we think we are. I might think that I'm too short. My feet smell. I'm not worth a whole lot. I couldn't do anything. But what does God say about you? You are precious. You are loved. You are worth it. If it was just you and me, I'd come and die for you. So keep that in mind and try and look in the Bible and find these truths and hear who you are. And we'll talk about this more next week. But just kind of keep in mind that what you say matters. There's a lot of power right here. And that's what changes your life and the lives around you.